as we duck out of Dallas just very briefly for this tropical scene. I'm in the same country as Dak Prescott. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to clear up a couple myths. First of all, the Dak thing very quickly, then we'll get to the tank thing. The Dak thing is not outrageous. It's completely understandable why everybody got that wrong. The Cowboys could have made this much more clear a long time before we had to go through all this, but our original reporting stands true. The Dallas Cowboys and a source close to Dak Prescott telling us right away, as soon as we saw the boot photo, and this goes to cowboyscountry.com and to the Fish Report, this goes back days now, saying it's just no big deal. And it has turned out to be just no big deal. Now we've got pictures of Dak Prescott playing golf in Mexico, where we are, and going to dinner with his family with no boot on, and walking around with his brother, I think, with no boot on. So there's a boot, but it's not a problem. It's not a major story. It's not a major injury. That's what the Cowboys told us from the start. We believed them from the start. We were scratching our head for a few days here, but now we're back to where we were originally. It's a thing, but it's not a problem. Now let's go to another thing, which is a problem. Part of this is the off-season frenzy. Cowboys are going to trade this and move that and do that, and that's okay to speculate. It's okay for the media to speculate. I'm an old man, so I say, if kid journalists want to play house and pretend that they're Big J journalists, I'm not a fan of it, but I understand the temptation. I do. Everybody wants to be a Big J journalist. And you know what? Some of you kids, in 40 years, maybe you'll get to be. By the way, I'm Mike Fisher, your trusty and trusted reporter, 35 years on the Cowboy beat, 40 years in covering the NFL, and a few days in Mexico, sunny Mexico. Thank you, by the way, for being part of the Fish Report here. 71,000 fish heads in Cowboy Nation here on this Monday morning. Breakfast at Fishinese, and thanks to Jim Laws, IndyCar Tim, and Tony Fisher for putting this baby together, as they always do. And then, of course, also thanks to Broken Halo and the Uncle Fish Store, which you can see the link below, and go get yourself some goodies as we get ready for another trip here in a couple weeks to Oxnard as we travel with the Cowboys. The concept of the Cowboys treating the 2024 season as a final cap-safe run before a blow-it-up remodel in 2025 was first explored by, drumroll please, me, here. This is the first place you heard it, cowboyscountry.com, the first place you read it. That what all in really meant. And we've broken this down in great and sometimes excruciating detail. It was first explored and revealed months ago here. And one of the ways we got there was an examination and then some questioning inside the Star, where we like to hang out as well when we're not in tropical beach areas. I'm going to show you the tropical beach area in a moment, and hopefully you'll get a chance to get a good look at it. It is lovely, and we're very fortunate. Very fortunate that Marcia is able to afford to drag me down here. One of the things that drove us to our conclusion, which, by the way, has turned out to be right, and now the rest of the world is starting to catch up, is Tank Lawrence's contract. Exhibit A was and is DeMarcus Lawrence, age 32, just turned in April, who in 2024 is playing on the final year of a deal that will cost the Cowboys $20 million. Good player, a lot of money, a lot of age. Saying goodbye to Tank is an obvious part of this plan. Next year, not this year. So our coverage of this and the offseason media frenzy of goofy trade ideas, some good trade ideas, some goofy, I get it. Dak Prescott's not signed, and we've done this. Dak Prescott's not signed. Okay, what are the options? CeeDee Lamb not signed. What are the options? Micah Parsons, how pricey is it going to be? What are the options? Brandon Cooks, totally get it. But you got to get your facts right. So our coverage of this, frankly, has been part of the fuel that has led to Cowboys, I'm going to call them media casuals. So that is to say, media members not with credentials, but media members with websites or Twitter accounts or blogs who are playing house. when it comes to journalism. And if that sounds like I'm belittling them or demeaning them, if it sounds like I'm being belittling or demeaning, you know why it sounds like that? Because I am. Because it's irresponsible. Leave it to the adults. I'm going to give you these numbers here in a minute. I'm going to tell you, these numbers that I'm going to give you on Tank Lawrence that make this a bogus story, I checked with three sources. I want to get this right. I don't just want people to click on CowboysCountry.com. I do want that, but I don't just want that. I don't want you to just watch and subscribe to what we do here. I do want that, but I don't just want that. I want it to be right. So when you subscribe here, you know you're getting the very best in cowboy information, which you are. So media casuals jumping on the bandwagon of Blow It Up to hint at transactions, possible transactions, by using false and faulty information. A perfectly awful example. I'm going to say this site because they get a lot of traffic, and I do think they're trying to do the right job, and I've got friends there, but I have to say it. Pro Football Network, and now that's been regurgitated by a fan site, and I won't link to that or mention that one either, except to say that they have copied exactly what we do at CowboysCountry.com. Even the look of it, even the look of their website is an exact copy of ours. And they're pushing the idea that Lawrence, quote, could be a trade candidate, end quote, with, quote, the Cowboys shopping the veteran defensive end, end quote. Writes the fan site, quote, it's all about freeing up that money to keep their key pieces intact. Now listen, and we got a lot of people who work for us, a 75-member staff, and a lot of them are young up-and-comers. And I'm not saying we don't have typos, and I'm not saying we don't make mistakes, because we do. But we also have editors. And if I'm an editor of your story and you keep your key pieces intact and you think in and tact, you think intact is 2 words instead of 1 word, I'm going to fix it and I'm going to text you and I'm going to tell you. And about the 3rd time you get it wrong, I'm going to fire you. Intact is not 2 words, dipshits. I mean, young kid journalists who are pretending to play house as cowboy writers. Yes, they do write intact as 2 words, and boy, are they equally wrong about freeing up that money. Writes Pro Football Network. Dallas could actually save $10 million by trading Lawrence. No. The Cowboys, in the event of a Lawrence trade, absolutely do not, quote, save $10 million in that trade. In fact, they do not at all in any way escape their $20 million worth of commitment in ballast. As confirmed by my man Joey Ikes, one of the 3 people I checked on with this, one of the 3 people who know the salary cap who I check on with this. There is a technical cap savings of $10 million in 2024, but these 2 sites that are making this up are failing to realize that the savings is offset by, ding, $10.4 million of dead money penalty that Dallas will pay the cap in 2024, and that's not all, ding, $7.4 million in dead money penalty additionally owed the cap in 2025. That's right. The Cowboys would not only not get out of the deal and save money, it would cost them, cap-wise, a total of 17.8. The first 10 would be offset by savings, but the total cap penalty is 17.8. So trading Lawrence isn't impossible. Not at all. It's not impossible. It's just impossibly dumb, cap-wise. And reporting anything to the contrary, and I know because I hear from so many of you, and I'm flattered that I do, that you appreciate, hey, screaming headlines are great. We do a great job with the thumbnails here. We do a great job with the photos. We do a great job with the headlines. We give it a great deal of thought. We certainly want to invite you to come here. Certainly want you to read CowboysCountry.com. But the biggest lure to what we do here isn't the headline or the thumbnail. The biggest lure to what we do here is once we get you in the tent, you stay. Once we get you in the tent, you realize you, the reader or the viewer, realize that this old man actually has sources and checks his numbers. And by the way, knows how to spell the word intact. So trading Tank Lawrence isn't impossible. It's just impossibly dumb, cap-wise. And reporting anything to the contrary, as these two sites have done, that's irresponsibly dumb. Now, let me see if I can guide you and show you a little of the fun we're having. By the way, yes, Marcia and everybody that's on this trip is mad at me because I'm working. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that, but, oh yeah, you can. There you go. So there's the beach. There's the beach. And yes, this is post-hurricane, so we're very lucky. But we're having a ball down here, and we're working vacation. Everything around here is a working vacation. That's the way we do it. We appreciate you being a part of what we do here as well. In Mexico, fish.